The scripture for this meditation is from Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31, and it reads, "They will raise their wings like eagles." Now that's the end of that verse, and to explain what Isaiah was talking about, at the beginning of the verse, he says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength, and then they will raise their wings like eagles." And so here is the meditation. There is a poetic legend about how birds were initially created. The lovely creatures were adorned with beautiful feathers. They had wonderful voices which produced melodious songs, but unfortunately they were not able to glide in the far reaches of the sky, since they did not have wings. Then God created wings, showed them to the birds, and said, "I am giving you this to put on and wear." The birds looked at this unfamiliar load with bewilderment and fear. Then they obediently took it with their beaks, put it on themselves, and it seemed very heavy to carry. But soon as they pressed them to themselves, the wings attached themselves to the little creatures, and the birds learned how to use them. Extending them, they rose high above the earth, and the burden became wings. Instead of just carrying a heavy load, they acquired a hitherto unknown ability to fly. This legend has a spiritual meaning. We are all birds without wings, and those trials and duties which God sends us are intended to teach us to rise above everything earthly. We look at our troubles as a heavy burden, but when we understand that God sends them to us in order to teach us to fly higher, we accept them from Him. And what happens? They turn into wings and carry us toward the sky, and maybe without them we would become permanently attached to this sorry earth. But they elevate our souls and turn into a blessing. By refusing to do our duty, by shirking the burden given us, we lose the chance to develop spiritually. Let us resolve to carry our burdens, hoping in the Lord, and let us remember that He wants to turn them into wings. These wings will carry us higher and higher until we reach, as it says in the Psalms, "Where the sparrow has found a home near your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God." Let us not forget that during our flight through this earthly life, these wings given us by God, which are often still weak, need cover and strengthening, and most importantly, cleansing from the dust of the earth which weighs them down. And this is where God's love appears in the form of broad wings spread over earthly pilgrims. We must again and again seek shelter under the wings of the Almighty in order to equip ourselves for new flight, and spreading our wings, always remember that they can remain raised only through the power of God.